30 plus is the number of free VSTs that I'm about to put you onto. Now before you click off, just hear me out. I know everybody and their mother's been putting out a ton of free VST videos, but I can assure you this ain't like the other ones because I wanted to touch on some VSTs that either people have never heard of or people just don't mention. And just to be sure, I did a quick swipe through and remove the ones that are pretty regurgitated, so that way I'm not wasting your time. I'm gonna break this down into three: effects, instruments, and realistic sounds. Realistic sounds are like contact banks and alternatives. And just to make it easier on everybody, I took all the VSTs from this video and put it in a PDF file that's clickable, so you can download every VST and preset that I mentioned in this video. It's gonna be free for you guys. Just click the link down below, but please watch this video because I put hella hours on this shit, man. I'm trying to get my watch time up for YouTube. I couldn't choose which one to start with, so let's spin the wheel and see where we land. All right, realistic sounds. Bro, say less. Now the first one is a contact bank and it's called Gangwin. I think I'm saying that right, but it's an Asian string instrument. It's super crazy. Right here, they give you a whole bunch of scales that this instrument uses and sounds great with. This next one is a contact bank and it's called Jade Ethnic Orchestra. I know a lot of sample makers use this. If you're into making like dark ethnic samples that like people like Q Beats and even Southside use, this is perfect. This just sounds super crazy, and to be honest with you, for this to be the free version, this is all you need. The full version is a lot in your storage. Speaking of contact banks, the next one that I'm going to show you is also free, and it's called Balkan Ethnic Orchestra. This is another one, but it plays phrases. Now, there's a whole bunch of contact banks that I know about, but the last one I'm going to show you guys is called the Free Orchestra by Project Sam. They got some shit in here, but the horns are crazy. Listen to this. And then you can add other instruments too. There's like a whole bunch of stuff that you could do within this VST. And the great thing about it is they have two. They have Free Orchestra 1 and they got Free Orchestra 2. This one, I'll really come in here for the harps. Here you go. I'm gonna use the homie Marco Lenz's MIDI kit because he has a lot of crazy ethnic samples. So I know this instrument's gonna work. And just like Free Orchestra 1, you can add additional instruments to make the sound a lot bigger. So if you want to make some wheezy type of shit or some like anthemic shit that people will play during like football games, this is it. There's a whole bunch of contact banks that I know about, but I might do a separate video on that because I want to put you guys on some shit with that one. And we'll be here all day. Now this next one is not a contact bank. It's actually free within FL Studio and it's called Model D. This one's a super clean piano. This is a free VST within FL Cloud. You don't even have to pay. All these presets sound good, and the great thing about it is you could tweak it super easy, and you can add effects. You can't look at this and tell me this shit don't look sexy. I wish VST companies made this shit look like this, because this looks visually appealing. But it's a free VST that you can get within FL. Now the next one is a free guitar, and it's called Vinyl Guitar 2 by EchoWorks Sounds. To keep it short, super easy to use, super easy to maneuver with. You can add additional effects, as well as like add additional layers like other guitars playing at the same time, and the effects sound good. You can make it sound vintage as well. Ooh, that sounds crazy. Now this next one isn't a VST that generates sound, but it helps you build chords, and it's called Ripchord. Now I know you guys already heard about it, but the reason I bring it up today is because you can find packs that have popular chord progressions and create something new out of it. For this one, I have a whole bunch of Drake chords. Say that sounds good to you, all you gotta do is record it, then right click and hit burn to MIDI, and then from there you could just build and manipulate those chords and find new melodies on top of it. I feel like ripcord is super slept on, but it's super helpful, especially if you have creative block. Now these last VSTs are actually 3 and they're from the same company. The company is called Somerville, and essentially they gave away these 3 VSTs. One of them is a choir, the other one is a Dusty Phelps piano, and the last one is like a textured guitar. It's a VST, so you don't need like contact or anything. Okay, back at the crib, I had to refilm this part. I had to go out of town for my mom's 50th birthday and then come back and finish filming this. Now we're moving on to effects or instruments. So spin the wheel and see where we land. All right, we had effects. All right, quick intermission before we head on to effects. I gotta let you know that my site, the Sound Gallery, has a whole bunch of free stuff on there. I'm talking free kits, themes, resources, a ton of shit. If you guys don't know, that's my site where I put all my kits on there. And I just dropped a crazy kit called Diplomatic Immunity Volume 1, the Stash Kit. I haven't put out a kit in a minute, and it's something I've been working on for mad long, and I've just been a perfectionist about it, but I wanted to make sure all the sounds are usable and hit. It's modeled after that like 2000 sampling era with a mix of today's type of knock and punch. Comment down below and I'll send like 5 people the kit for the free once this video hits 2K views. So you guys gotta run it up. And for those that are impatient or you want it right now, I'll give you guys a discount code. Boom, here it is. Don't say I never show you guys love. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. So for the first effect, it's a tape emulation called Band Bright. I know everybody uses RC20, and as of late, people are getting actual tape machines. But for the people that need something budget friendly, this is perfect for drums and melodies. That's like a night and day difference. The great thing about this one too is the shit look cool. It reminds me of like the OP1, how minimalistic it is. The next VST, I don't hear anybody talk about it, but it's super fire. It's called Codec, and essentially it's a lossy plugin. I don't know what that means, but I do know it's like the free version of the kilohearts lossy. Now, you might think that shit sounds terrible, but if you add a whole bunch of effects on top of it, it'll give it some interesting textures. Speaking of textures, much like the tape machines, I know a lot of people are using cassette players, and the perfect emulation for that cassette feel is Tape Cassette 2. Before I bought RC20, I was actually using this one super heavy, and I like this one because they give you saturation, low pass, noise, wow, flutter, and the output. The most basic minimal functions for that type of texture, and it doesn't sound cheap, so I highly recommend you check this one out. Now this next one is super special. I don't hear nobody talk about this. It's from the same company. It's super useful, and I only use like one preset that I'm gonna give you guys for the free. The VST is called Flux Mini 2. I got the sample from this beat that I made, and this is what it does. You can shape it, or you could add a low pass. You could do some pretty cool effects with this, but how I use it is I created this preset called the fake MPC chopping. The way that I use it is instead of throwing the whole sample in FL Slicer just to get that chop feel which creates motion for the sample, I'll just throw this preset on there and then I'll tweak the settings. I could either tweak it to get a smoother sound, or I could just mess with it, pretty much get as creative as I want. I'm gonna keep it honest with you. The only thing I do is I'll mess with the sync knob or the mix, just so I can get a smoother sound. I'm gonna sound like DJ Academics, man. Like, listen, man, you gotta get the drums. Your shit is gonna hit. Shit. Mini Flux 2, make sure you download it. I'm gonna give you this preset, and I'm gonna give you guys the FL version of the preset, so that way all you gotta do is just drag and drop it. And if you use Shaperbox 3, I'm gonna also give you that preset too. Now for these next two companies of plugins that I mentioned, I have to warn the people with a brick computer, do not download them if your computer is not good. But if your computer can handle it, by all means, try it out. The first plugin company that I want to mention is called Acoustica Audio. If you're familiar with Mike Dean's plugin, it's the same people that helped him develop that, but they have a whole bunch of free plugins that also sound incredible. Their whole thing is like emulating analog pieces. If you don't have a good computer, don't even try it because your shit's gonna be frozen. Your shit's gonna be frozen and you're gonna have to like come back tomorrow and deal with it. It's a ton of great plugins, but don't say I didn't warn you. The next company is called Analog Obsession. If you follow me, you know that I've put them in like countless videos before, so shouldn't be no stranger to that. But their whole thing is like emulating analog pieces. They're all on the Patreon for free, so you don't gotta pay for nothing. But like I said, I'm just warning you. Now that we got that out the way, the next company that I want to talk about is called Spectral Plugins. The first plugin I'm gonna tackle is a multi-effects plugin called Spacer. They got reverbs, delays, convolutions, grain delays, as well as grain reverbs for textures, as well as utilities and chorus. You have a whole bunch of effects to create different type of textures. It has a randomizer, so if you don't feel like messing with everything, you can go and just mess with the whole thing, or you can go to individual effects and mess with it and get something creative out of it. Now this next one is one of my favorites, and it's called Panks, and it's essentially a drum shaping plugin. Think of it as a compressor, a multi-band compressor, a transient shaper, and a clipper. I'm bringing the tail down. I want the drums tighter. I want more snap to it. Bring that transient. If I want to just destroy the shit, I can use this NYC knob. Bring the mix down. You can use this on instruments. It's just like more of a visual compressor, but it works wonders. I especially like this NYC knob. It's like an old compression technique. The last one I'm gonna talk about from Spectral Plugins is called OCS45 Cassette Simulation. What separates this one from the other ones is you get a little bit more control and you get different modes. So you get different noises, different type of clipping, soft clipping, downsampling, tone, as well as like cassette settings. I do want to mention, once you get on the site, don't click the actual VST because they're gonna charge you. I know a couple months back when I made it into a short and it went viral, people was hitting me telling me it's not free, but I promise you guys it is free. All you gotta do is just sign up. Now these next free plugins that I'm gonna show you, I'm not gonna show you all of them because there's way too damn much, but I promise you they're like the best fake stock plugins and they're great for sound design. They come from Kilohearts and they are the Essentials bundle. You get all of these plugins, all of these. My favorite ones are the tape stop, the reverser, the ring mod, the gate, as well as the dual delay. They're like stupid simple to use, so you can't fuck that up. It's only like a couple knobs. The next one is not really like a sound effector, but it's really clutch though, and it's called Sound Delay. Simplest way I could explain it is when you go to the wrench tool and you mess with the shift knob, it's essentially the same thing, but it's like more of a master knob for all your sounds. So rather than shift everything or like nudge everything on the playlist one by one to try to get that groove, you can use Sound Delay to find the right pocket. Shout out to Oh Gosh Leotis because he was talking about recording instruments and trying to find the right pocket and swing, and he uses Sound Delay. And that guy like is like a full musician that records shit into like the microphone and stuff. So if you want pocket in your drums, definitely try that out. Just a reminder that all the VSTs that I mentioned in this video are linked down below in the clickable PDF file. So all you got to do is download the PDF for free and click the picture of the VST that you want, and it'll take you directly to the download link. So make sure you guys go download that using the link down below in the description. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the best part that everybody wants to know: the synths. Bro, I'm about to put you on to so much raw shit. So the first one I'm gonna show you has to do with Vital. Now, everybody already knows about Vital, but I want to talk about the presets that people are totally sleeping on. Now, all over the internet, there's forums and websites, and even people that are putting out packs for free, and all these presets sound amazing. You can't tell me that don't sound like some Drake shit. god. There's a ton of amazing preset banks, and I'm not gonna gatekeep. Here's all the ones that I have installed. This guy Nate has a whole bunch of just fire shit. Now the next free synth that sounds really good is called One by Kilohearts. I don't hear many people talk about this, but it sounds good. It's that mustard shit. Shit kind of sound hard. Sounds like some Tyler the Creator type of shit. I've been practicing my keys and stuff. Now the next couple I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with, but I just want to plug them just because I think they're really dope, and I love when producers make their own VSTs. Listen, I don't know how hard that shit is, but I do know we need to big them up because it takes a lot of time and effort to make these, and they're giving them away for free. So we gotta support that. I don't want to make this a hella long video by going through each and every bank, so listed are a whole bunch of creators and their banks that they created, and these are some really fire ones. You can't go wrong with any of these. This last decent sampler bank has to be one of my favorites, and I don't hear many people talk about it. It's called Super Synth, and it's actually from Loner, the producer. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen him on YouTube. I'm gonna flip through the presets and you be the judge. This is my favorite sound right here. It's hella simple to use, and it doesn't sound cheap. It sounds great. Bro, you can't say I don't put you guys on this shit. I'm giving you guys some sauce, and on top of that, I'm not gonna lie, it look like I got a fucking tan right now. Let's move on to this next synth because I made a sample with this one. Now the next synth is DB1 from Dixon. I was watching like an Alan Ritter video and he was talking about this, and I'm not gonna lie to you, those Casio keyboards got a certain type of texture and shadiness to it that just make the sound a lot better. Don't feel like you need like these expensive ass VSTs or synths to make really great music, because Benny Blanco made some of the biggest hits of the 2010s, like with a Casio keyboard that he got for like $5 at a garage sale. There's a lot of great sounds in here. I only use this synth and some accents and phrases. It's a cool idea. I should probably turn off Portal before I like finally render this. Shout out to Alan Ritter, because if he never put this in the video, I would have never knew about it and never used it. The next synth is called OBXD, and it sounds like this. The thing I like about the synth is it doesn't sound cheap, and they not only give you a whole bunch of different categories, but they give you a ton of sounds. So if you can't make heat out of this, I don't know what to tell you. If you love making super synthy loops, this is perfect for you. Next up is the synthesizer. Next up is the synthesizer. God damn, man, I can't say this shit. This is the synthesizer. Next up is the synthesizer. This shit is whooping my ass. What the fuck is going on today? Next up is the synthesizer. Alright, fuck it. This is the last take. Next up is the synthesizer. Next up is the Synth Expander module. Because I can't say the whole thing. That shit is whooping my ass. It's a mono synth that plays bass and leads. So you can't play chords on it. I know they have a paid version that has a whole bunch of them. But this synth is really, really good. If you guys ever heard Looking Exotic by Future, produced by Jade and Southside, Jade does a breakdown. And he has this like big tank of a synth that has multiple modules. So essentially this VST is like an emulation of of that, but it's just like one module though. If you get the other modules, you can play chords and stuff. They got some really great basses and really great leads in here. The next one is also from Cherry Audio, and it's called Surrealistic MG1 Plus. A lot of great leads, a lot of great bass sounds. This is one of my favorites. It's called Bow Bass. I'm not gonna lie to you, Cherry Audio really got some shit, so definitely check them out. They got a lot of good free synths. Now the last two VSTs that I want to talk about actually come from IK Multimedia, and they kind of work hand in hand together. The first one I talked about many times is called Syntronic 2. They give you guys all of these legendary keyboards and synths, and the great thing about it is they sound just alike. They don't sound cheap. Another great thing about it is this is free, but the paid version that gives you all of the sounds doesn't even cost that much. And every like season, every holiday, they always give you like free banks. A lot of these that I've gotten are actually banks that they gave away for free on holidays. All right, we have the last one. So this last one that I'm gonna talk about is one that I don't hear people talk enough about, and it's called Sample Tank 4. Now it's kind of like Contact, but it's for IK Multimedia products. You load up an instrument, and any IK Multimedia bank from Syntronic or Philharmonic you can use here. And the sick thing about it is you can load up multiple instruments and map it along your keyboard. Sample Tank 4 SE is something that they automatically give you, so it'll have a whole bunch of synths and just a whole bunch of good shit that you'll use. I've been using this one lately because it's really easy to use and tweak, and to be honest with you, I love multi-instruments because it's just easier for me to like flip through stuff and see what sparks my ear. All right, y'all, so those are all the free VSTs that I'm putting you guys onto. Don't say I didn't do nothing for you, because man, I gave you guys a whole bunch of stuff that I feel like people don't use or don't even talk about. If you guys want these VSTs, click the link down below, so that way you don't have to scour all over the internet for the download links like I have. They're all going to be in one PDF file for you. Just click the link down below. It'll be free for you guys, and it'll be sent straight to your email. Make sure you guys go pick up my drum kit, Diplomatic Community Volume 1, the Stash Kit. I promise you're going to love it because it's all you need to make some hard shit. And just because I fuck with y'all, here's the discount code again. It took me a minute to work on this video, but with that being said, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what else you guys want to see, and I'll make it happen. We're officially in the fourth quarter now, so everybody lock in. Don't wait for January 1st. Lock in right now while you have the time. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you guys next time.